Hi again, fellow unlicensed thinkers. I'm sure many of you have seen that the title of my book is HIHO, H-I-H-O. And so you're probably like, what the hell is HIHO? Well, what that's all about is you having the power to make the world, or at least your world, a lot better through very simple actions. And before we get into that, if you could go ahead and hit the like button for me, thank you very much. I can't quite reach it, still working on that. So, HIHO stands for happiness in, happiness out. It comes from the idea of data systems where if you put garbage or junk into a system, that's really the only thing that you can reasonably expect to get out of the system. Well, so in this case, if you put happiness into a system, any interaction, be it at your work, at your home, the grocery store, whatever it is, you put a little bit more happiness into that situation, and you're going to get a higher net result of happiness. So how does that work practically? If my job is, say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how pleasant it is to work there, my job, we'll say, is a 4. Arbitrary stuff, just coming up with something. Now, if I walk into work and I smile at the person who sits next to me all day, I'm not going to change the company culture entirely that day. But what I am going to do is improve the situation, improve the area closest to me, the circles or the systems of influence that are most directly right near me, I can try to improve. And that will have a ripple or reverberation out into other things and then back to me. So if I go into that job every day and I say, man, this is miserable, this sucks, boss is a jerk, I hate these coworkers over here, all I'm doing is I'm putting into the system more garbage, more unhappiness. That's going to result, of course, in a normalization of that unhappiness, and that's what I'm going to see more of. The person who sits next to me is going to feel more inclined to complain about what's going on. They're going to be less happy. So when I look over at them, I'm going to see them being less happy because they saw me being less happy. And so what we're doing is we're feeding off of each other. But then we go out into the break room or we go into different meetings and interact with different people. And if we're miserable there too, if we've already started this feedback loop of being miserable, then we put more of that out into the environment. And so more people see being miserable as normal. Now, if I go in there and I smile and I compliment somebody or whatever it might be, I do something to improve the environment, even with just the person who sits next to me. I look over at them and I say, hey, how you doing? And I smile. Don't need a reason. Just smile at them. Just say, hey, you're looking great today, or you've been doing a great job, whatever it is. Now I'm putting more happiness into that system with something as simple as a smile or a little statement. I'm putting more happiness into that system. So I've just made their day better. Now they're a little bit happier. Maybe I haven't made their day perfect, but who cares? That's not the goal. The goal is incremental improvements over time. So putting in that little bit, injecting that little bit of extra happiness, whether you have a reason or not. So now I look over at them. They're happier. So what's that do to me? That makes me happier. And this is one of the themes of my book. My book goes into a whole lot of things, but this is one of the big themes, is about this intention that we have and what we can put out into the world. And so if I intend for my world to be happier at work, then my work will be happier. So now this employee, he goes into a meeting and he's a little bit happier. And in that meeting, he's smiling a little bit more. Maybe he makes one of the bosses a little bit happier. That boss then, I don't know, they say something nice to their another employee of theirs that they normally wouldn't say. Or they just walk out with a smile because they were so happy to see this guy smiling. And then I run into that employee randomly in the break room. And that employee has an extra smile on their face. Well, now I have improved my world right here with the person who sits right by me. And I've improved my world with this non-direct contact. And I'm getting an extra smile. And so it's this reverberation. And you just keep it going and you keep it going. Those who are familiar with the Tibetan singing bowls, the first thing that you do with a singing bowl to get it to work is you tap it. And that kind of gets it vibrating. But then you run the wand around it. And that gets it, that increases the vibration, and it makes that singing noise that we're all familiar with. And so that's exactly what we're doing here with this concept of happy in and happy out. Is I don't need to change the world today. But if I make these little changes, I can improve my world. And even if it's just walking through a store, and I just smile at somebody, or I just smile as I'm walking through the store, and I'm just happier, and I walk with a little bounce in my step, that's going to lead to someone else seeing that. And maybe it doesn't have a huge effect, but maybe it does. Maybe they needed a little bit of happiness. Maybe they take that out into the world with them, and they make my neighborhood better, just a tiny bit better. And then somebody else makes it a tiny bit better, and it reverberates, and it reverberates, and it keeps coming back around. So from a selfish standpoint, I smile at other people to make the world around me better. From a non-selfish standpoint, I smile at them to make their world better, and in hopes that will just spread, and it'll come back to me, and it'll go to more people, and it becomes normalized to be happier, to be kind, to be complimentary. And so that's why I called my book that. Although, like I said, my book goes into many other topics. There's many other sections in the book. That is a theme that runs through my book, is use that power of intention. Use those little tiny things that you can do every day to make your work better, to make your trip to the store better, to make your home life better, whatever it might be. Just insert that little tiny bit of happiness, just a little bit, and see if it doesn't make a difference over the long term. So I don't promise anything tomorrow, but 6 months from now, you'll just be smiling and you'll go, man, that really works. Of course, you'll have to figure out that was it that did it. And, well, that gets into complicated stuff, but we won't worry about that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to hit like and share the video. And I'm really sorry about this, but that is where I cut part of my lip off the other day shaving. So if that has been annoying throughout the video, I'm sorry. It should be healed in a couple of days. All right. Have a great day.